This is the Mobile Home Park Lawyer Podcast with Ferd Neiman. If you're looking to generate wealth and passive income in the lucrative world of mobile home parks, you're in the right place. You'll discover solutions to the common legal and operational pitfalls and how to optimize parks to maximize income. Your host is in the trenches. He's a real estate attorney, financial analyst, and mobile home park investor and operator. Now, let's turn it over to Ferd Neiman.
Welcome back, Mobile Home Park Nation. Ferd Neiman here again today with another episode of the Mobile Home Park Lawyer Podcast. Today I'm going to cover another case study. This is on a small park that we bought right about a year ago in the Des Moines Metro. And kind of one of the lessons learned here is, what's your measuring stick? I see a lot of guys really worrying about lot count, and I can get that. I see a lot of guys worrying about transactions closed. I care more about net worth and cash flow, because those things can give you financial freedom. And this is a little bitty deal, and it's done real well for us in only 1 year with very minimal effort. So some lessons learned will be, buy right, and some of the steps we used here, some of the standard, slight rent raise, submeter the water, sewer, sell off the park-owned homes, increase some of the amenities, parking, things like that, and make a little bit of money on it, right? Well, this deal here is a 20-pad park, and it also has about 10 or 12 acres of just vacant ground. That's kind of an expansion area, if you will. This is not zoned for expansion of mobile home parks, so it's probably going to become more of a residential development. There's some nice, $300,000-$400,000 houses being built right down the streets. This is a really affluent, up-and-coming area of Des Moines. So this park was listed for sale by a national brokerage, CBRE, I think the biggest broker in the world, as development ground. It was listed for $600,000. And Andy, my head of acquisitions, was sent letters to these owners and sent a letter, and the owner said, talk to my broker. I'm like, what are you talking about, broker? It's off market. We're not chasing broker deals right now. He goes, yeah, I got it for sale. And sure enough, he had it for sale as development ground for $600,000. It was worth more than $600,000, in my opinion, as mobile home park. So we ended up getting it tied up at $535 and closed on the deal November 30th of last year. And this guy was going to just scrape the trailers and make these people be homeless. There were 20 pads. There were 17 occupied with homes. 5 of the homes were vacant and had been vacant for many years. Utilities been turned off. The guy was kind of a fool on renovations, and he did 80% of the renovations on 5 houses, as opposed to 100% of the renovations on 1, and then move the house and then repeat. So they just sat there for sale. He had for sale signs in the window, but he didn't even have his phone number on them. So he really wasn't trying that hard. So we knew he was able to sell these pretty quickly. And they were decent homes. Like they were, late 90s and early 2000s. So they were not old junkers. So we ended up buying the park. We renovated the homes with our crew out of Kansas City. Just sent them there for a couple of weeks, knocked them out, got them renovated, got them all sold right away. Sold them for about $125,000 total for the 5 houses. So we immediately went from 12 occupied sites to 17 occupied sites. Market rent in Des Moines is north of $500. We were at $410. We went up $35 to $445. Still way below market. One of our residents was really frustrated. Normally we do pretty modest rent increases, so people don't jump at us too much. One guy was really pissed, and we pointed out to him that what he didn't know was that our predecessor was going to make him move and sell the park to somebody for development. Then he was going to have to go find a new place to park his home, and some of the market rents were $650, so $500 and up. So we said, look, we're going from $410 to $445, and we put in a playground. We added that amenity. There was parking was a shotgun style street, down and back, no turnabout. So we put in a kind of a turnabout at the end for just better traffic flow, and half the driveways on one side of the street, 10 of them were concrete. The other half didn't have driveways, so we just put in gravel driveways real inexpensively. Those 10 people were appreciative of it. So we upped the rent $35. We sub-metered and put in WaterScope smart meters with Metron, and we haven't done any with the expansion yet. It's kind of down the road. So we really didn't do a lot. We have a park greeter that lives in this park, and we don't give him free lot rent. We give him partial free lot rent. I think it's $150 a month, and his job is really easy. And we painted a couple houses. We put a new sign out front, put a couple white picket fences up, a couple rose bushes. All in, renovating these homes in this minimal CapEx. It has concrete roads, by the way, and curbs on them, so the roads are in good shape. All in, we spent like $40,000 on upgrading this park, and we put $107,000 on a down payment. It's 20% on a $535,000 loan, and this deal just appraised last week at $950,000. So value add of about $400,000, $415,000 in 1 year off of $40K, and we have one part-time employee, and our regional manager, she's not even seen this park. She's like, I want to go check this one out. I said, you don't have to. There's nothing to do. It's just automatic. It's easy. So we upgraded the value of the park by 400-some thousand, and we got some money out of the homes. We actually made some money on these home sales, which is pretty rare. So really easy peasy deal. And some people out there would look down at me like, oh my gosh, you only have 20 pads. Why would you buy a 20 pad park? Well, this is why. You buy it right. We just did a cash out refinance. The local bank got 75% out, so we got a $712,000 loan. We put $284,000 in our pocket this week on a deal that is piece of cake, right? And we still have 10 acres of future development. It's probably worth six figures for a residential guy. If we could expand his mobile home park, it'd be worth more to us, but we got to go through that process. We'll get to that here in the near future. So the lesson learned here is just basically buy right. Don't denigrate that it's only a 20 pad park, and you can make a decent amount of money. We saved 12 people's housing, and then we added 5 more housing. We're going to fill the next 3 vacant lots. We'll have 20 people that otherwise would be kind of up a creek trying to find a place to live. So it's pretty cool. One other thing on this park, it did have septic sewer. So during our due diligence in Iowa, there's a time of transfer inspection to transfer the sewer permit. Well, guess what? It worked to our benefit that one of the septic tanks was failing. So the seller was required to put in a new septic tank, about $12,000-$15,000. So that worked out well for us as well. So all in, pretty chill deal. Added decent amount to our pocketbooks and took care of these residents. And what's even crazier about this one is I would not sell this park for $950K even without the development land. The appraiser didn't do us a lot of justice, gave us a 7.5 cap rate on our appraisal. Realistically, this deal is probably worth $1.1 million, $1.2 million. And if we ever do another refinance or another sale, I think we'll capitalize on the rest of that value. So the numbers I gave you are my actuals, but my actuals aren't as good as I probably should have got because I got a bum appraisal, but such is life. Till next time, God bless.
You've been listening to the Mobile Home Park Lawyer Podcast with Ferd Neiman. Ready to learn more? Go to www.themobilehomelawyer.com for free resources and materials to help you succeed. If you love the podcast, go to Apple Podcasts, give us your review, and subscribe today. Thank you for listening. Neither the Supreme Court of Missouri nor the Missouri Bar reviews nor approves certifying organizations or specialist designations. The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.